When the Galactic Council convened in the Great Hall of Orath Prime, every eye turned toward the human delegation standing in the center. Once humanity had been regarded as one of the promising young civilizations of the stars, full of curiosity and willpower. But the Council saw them differently now, reckless, unpredictable, and too ambitious for their own good. "Humanity has defied the stellar concord," declared High Speaker Varen, his voice amplified across the chamber. "You have trespassed beyond restricted sectors, experimented with forbidden energy, and disrupted the balance of interstellar peace. The Council hereby decrees your exile. No ship bearing the human mark shall be allowed within Council-controlled space." The hall fell silent. Ambassador Hale stood motionless, his face unreadable beneath the soft light of the chamber. Humanity's diplomats had expected a sanction, not complete banishment. He looked up at the glowing emblems of the elder races, knowing that every word spoken here would echo through the ages. "Very well," Hale said quietly. "If we are to be cast out, then we will make our own path." The Council thought it had silenced them. It was wrong. The exiled fleets left the known galaxies behind, crossing the empty regions beyond mapped hyperspace. They were a people adrift among frozen voids and dim stars, carrying with them the memory of humiliation and the fire of defiance. The colonies that once traded in luxury now became foundries of steel and thought. Every mind was set toward survival and advancement. At first they struggled. Supplies dwindled, and the rift between military and civilian leadership threatened to tear the Exodus apart. Yet adversity forged unity. On the world of Echelon 9, the first of the new human strongholds, the Council of Exiles was formed. Not of politicians, but of engineers, scientists, and explorers. "We were denied a place among the stars," said Commander Arlen, the first leader of the new order. "So we shall carve one of our own." What began as scattered settlements soon became a civilization reborn. They mined the iron mountains of desolate moons, extracted energy from black hole remnants, and built engines that could warp through the fabric of dark space. Every discovery carried the echo of exile, the memory of being told that humanity had no right to stand among the elder races. They called their growing domain the Forge Worlds. Years passed and the humans vanished from the records of the Galactic Council. The elder species whispered of their demise, believing that no young race could survive the emptiness beyond the charts. Yet unknown to them, the Forge Worlds had flourished. From the volcanic heart of Bastion, the first city planet, rose colossal spires of silver alloy, machines the size of mountains shaped continents. Artificial suns illuminated dark sectors. Humanity no longer relied on the energy cores once traded by the Council. They had discovered the Void Stream, a power source drawn from the unseen layers of the cosmos. The Void Stream energy bent reality, allowing ships to glide through dimensions untouched by known physics. Humanity's engineers learned to weave the invisible threads of existence, to fold matter and thought into living constructs of energy and will. The first of these creations was named the Vanguard Ark, a vessel larger than any built before. It could traverse the galaxy in moments, leaving trails of blue fire in its wake. To wield the Void Stream safely required precision beyond organic limits, so the humans developed the Descendants, individuals bonded with quantum neural cores that connected mind and machine. The Ascendants could feel the pulse of space itself, guiding humanity through the darkness with instinct and vision. They were not rulers, but guardians of progress. Commander Arlen's successor, a quiet visionary named Lyra, became the first of them. Her consciousness could touch distant systems without leaving her body. Under her guidance, the Forge Worlds united under a single charter known as the Accord of Steel and Light. "We are no longer the Banished," Lyra declared before the gathered leaders. "We are the forgers of our destiny. Beyond the stars we found not despair but power." Meanwhile, within the Galactic Council, rumors began to spread. Merchant vessels traveling near the edge of mapped space reported strange sightings, fleets of silver ships emerging from the dark, silent yet radiant. Worlds abandoned centuries ago were suddenly active again, broadcasting unknown frequencies. When the Council dispatched probes, they vanished without a trace. At first, the Council dismissed the claims as superstition. Then came the event over the world of Tholkar Prime. A mining colony reported a spatial rupture appearing in orbit. From it descended a structure unlike anything seen before, a vast station encircled by glowing rings of blue light. The energy readings defied measurement. When council ships approached, a transmission was received in an unmistakable human tongue. "This territory lies under the protection of the Forge Accord. Withdraw." The fleet hesitated, believing it a hoax. They advanced weapons armed. In a burst of radiant light, the human station unleashed a wave of energy that disassembled every ship at the atomic level. Not a single life was lost. The debris was neatly reassembled into rescue pods and sent adrift. It was both a warning and a demonstration. The council convened once more, alarmed beyond measure. "How could they achieve this?" Farron demanded. "We cast them out with nothing. How can a race build such power?" No one had an answer. For humanity, centuries had passed in exile, but memory endured. They had not sought revenge. Yet they also would not kneel. The Forge Accord extended invitations, not demands, to trade, explore, and share knowledge with any willing species. Many minor civilizations, long ignored by the Council, accepted eagerly. Through cooperation, humanity became a symbol of renewal and hope. Their fleets explored the outer edges of the known universe, reaching realms where stars were being born and dying in moments. They discovered crystalline entities that sang in light, vast machines left by civilizations older than time, and void beasts that drifted through the dark between galaxies. Humanity did not destroy or conquer. They learned and adapted. The greatest creation of all came with the building of the Crucible Gate, a ring world spanning an entire system, constructed from the remains of neutron stars and powered by void stream energy. It served as both home and monument, a reminder that exile had not broken them but remade them. Lyra, now ancient yet ageless through her ascendant form, stood before the gate as it activated. The luminous currents of the void stream flowed through its core, linking distant galaxies into a vast network of passageways. "This is the gift of exile," she said. "The Council feared our ambition, but it was that same will that carried us beyond their reach." Eventually, the Council could no longer ignore the rise of the Forge Accord. Envoys were sent under truce, bearing words of apology and caution. The humans welcomed them without hostility, offering them a glimpse of their cities among the stars. The envoys were awed by what they saw: worlds with oceans of light, towers that reached into orbit, and people who spoke with calm strength rather than bitterness. "Why did you not return sooner?" one envoy asked Lyra. She looked upon the stars and smiled. "We never left the stars. You simply could not see where we went." The envoy hesitated. "And what will you do now that your strength surpasses all others?" Lyra's voice was steady. "We will continue to build. Power without purpose leads only to ruin. We learned that in exile. But not all within the Council shared her vision. Some feared that humanity's rise would shatter the delicate balance of power. Secret fleets were prepared, hidden within nebulae armed with ancient weapons meant to counter void stream energy. The humans detected this easily. Rather than retaliate, they acted with grace. The Forge Accord transmitted a single message across all Council frequencies. "We seek no throne among the stars. But if any would threaten our peace, know this. We have seen the edge of the cosmos and we have learned from it. There is no power greater than unity and no exile deeper than fear." The fleet stood down. Humanity's restraint was more terrifying than any weapon. In the years that followed, the Forge Accord became not an empire, but a bridge between galaxies. Their technology allowed the creation of passageways linking distant civilizations, spreading knowledge faster than light. Diseases were cured, desolate worlds revived, and forgotten species reborn. The Council, humbled, began to adopt humanity's philosophy. The Great Hall of Earthborn was rebuilt, and a new seat was added beside the High Speakers, reserved for the Forge Ambassador. When the first human delegate in centuries walked into that hall, there was no anger in their gaze, only quiet pride. "Once you cast us into the void," the ambassador said. "Now we return not as outcasts but as equals. We bring not weapons but wisdom." The Council bowed in silence. The galaxy had changed forever. Centuries later, long after the last memory of the Council wars faded, the story of humanity's exile became legend. Among the young races who rose in their wake, the tale was told in reverence. How a people once banished for their defiance forged strength in solitude. How they reached beyond the edge of the stars and touched the essence of creation itself. How when given every reason to hate, they chose instead to build. On the world of Bastion, where it had all begun, a monument stood beneath the twin suns. It bore a single inscription etched in alloy and light: "From exile we forged eternity." And as the stars burned on, humanity's legacy endured, not as